I want to talk about shadow IT. What is it, how to avoid it, and what to do about it if you've got it. So shadow IT is basically any IT that grows that isn't managed by the IT department. That is interesting because in some organizations that can be useful because people want to get stuff done and IT is a barrier. So the first thing to do with shadow IT is that IT needs to embrace any requests and make sure that they're fed through the IT department and they're not naysaying. People use budgets for other systems in order to get the IT they need because IT's refused to pay for it. Or in some cases, they even pay for it themselves. One of my team was saying, surely no one in their right mind would bring in their router from home and plug it into their work network. Why on earth would you do that? And this is a case of shadow IT. People are trying to get something done. Maybe the Wi-Fi is slow. So rather than ask IT how to fix it, or they've asked IT and it's taking too long, they go, I know, I'll bring my Wi-Fi in router in from home because that's fast. And then they cause a massive outage across the whole network. No one can work. And then there are ways to stop this happening, by the way. But and then IT is left on the hook and going, well, why did you allow this person to do that? It's like, well, why would you do that in the first place? But often what we see with shadow IT is people's desire to get stuff done and IT being a barrier. So we need to make sure IT is not a barrier. But also we need to make sure that the budgets are being spent effectively. So often if people have got two bits of software that do the same thing and they want software B, but IT has bought software A, they will try really hard to get software B. So you need to help them with training, support, and make sure that they know that software A can do with the stuff that software B can do. So a good example of that for us is we don't support G Suite for our customers because we don't need to support G Suite as well as Microsoft 365. So we took a decision a few years ago that we didn't need to support both. We only support one. We only support one antivirus. We generally provide one type of computer because it makes things cheaper because the entropy is lower. So there's quite a lot to unpick here, but the point is that if people are buying servers, computers, equipment, laptops, and it's not coming through your IT department, that's a sign that it's being poorly managed. Once you've got this stuff and it's working, the business is very happy because it's making the business more effective, but actually it's undermining your IT department. So IT needs to embrace shadow IT, manage it effectively, and make sure things are being moved forward. If somebody in the organization says, hey, I want to write a bit of software, it's like, that's great, but you probably don't have the skills to actually deploy this properly. Let's work together and figure out a way of making this work, because maybe we could bring in a third party and you can manage them, or maybe you could create a demo product and then we could take that out, or maybe we could even sell that to other people in our industry. There's loads and loads of options, but if you just shut these things down, that's no good. You've got to embrace it, but also control it. So if your business is wasting money because the IT department is being undermined, stop that happening. It will really help your IT department and help your business grow. But make sure your IT department is not saying no.